Welcome back to PRI, Prep Recruiting Insider, here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. I'm your coach for PRI, Rick Gailey, here with the I in Prep Recruiting Insider. There may be no I in team or Renee, but we do have our own I, the Prep Recruiting Insider himself, Renee Nato. And we have with us today our special guest, Chris Thompson. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You see what I put up with. All right. Chris, glad to have you here. Really, man. You great player at Holy Cross. Nichols State, All Southland Conference, had 10 interceptions your final 2 years with the Colonels. When you were sitting where these young guys were a few years ago, thinking about where I'm going to go, why did the light come on for Nichols? And what other schools did you think about?
Well, actually, to be honest, that was my only offer I had on the table. I had a couple of teams interested in me, but they didn't make any offers to me. So I can still remember driving down to Nichols State the day I signed my letter of intent, and I always had a dream to go to the NFL. And I told my dad, you know, it's going to be hard for me to go to the NFL from Nichols State. And I'll never forget, he told me, he said, son, he said, it doesn't matter where you play at, as long as you're good enough, they'll find you. And here we are 15 years later, 10 years later, and I'm retired NFL player.
And it not only goes by quickly, but your dad was exactly right.
Exactly. Right.
What the NFL wants is good players, and they'll find them everywhere. Yeah. And Nichols State has certainly provided their share of players in the NFL. Talk about, if you would, for a minute, your journeys. First through the NFL. You must really love football, even before we get to that, because of the number of places that you've played throughout the world. Talk about some of the places that you've played.
Well, coming out of college, I was drafted by Jacksonville Jaguars. And actually, a funny story, I was talking to the guys over here. My second training camp was when Katrina hit. And I was in training camp my third week, so you can imagine how I was feeling. So after that, I played in Chicago for a year. And I started bouncing around, had a cup of tea in Miami, Buffalo. And in '07, I was in Berlin, NFL Europe, and that was a great experience. And once I left there, I went to, where did I go after that? I signed with the Buffalo Bills. And
then the CFL.
CFL, yeah. And I just finally retired this past May.
To play in all those places, you must really love the game. You don't just do that as a business decision.
No,
you must really
not
love
at all. I've always had a passion for football. I mean, since I was smaller, it's been the passion of my life, and I've been blessed to do it for a long time, long career, successful career. And I'm just thankful to have met the people that I've met and gone to places that I've been.
You had a lot of success in the Canadian Football League north of the border, Chris. And one year, 2008, I think it was, you had 9 interceptions in 1 year. And I knew you were telling me you had 2 more that got taken away due to penalties. What was the biggest adjustment for you as a cornerback playing in American football and then going to that wide field at Canada?
No question, it was the wider field. In Canada, the receivers have endless motion. So before the snap, they got a full head of steam coming at you. So you got to be ready to cover the whole field. And that was definitely the biggest adjustment for me. And I caught on pretty quickly and went on to have some great years up there.
And to play at the levels that you've played and excelled, it's more than just talent. It's off-season preparation, in-season preparation, and the like. Talk about how a professional defensive back, especially, where you've got to remember what's happened, but you still have to have a short memory. You can't dwell on. Talk about your preparation weekly in season of what you did to try to get a leg up on the opposition.
Oh, it's a full-time job. I've got notes at my house still, notebook with receivers' tendencies, things you'd like to do. It's definitely a full-time job. You got to do your homework because at that level you're playing the best of the best, and you need any little keys that will help you get an edge up on the competition. And I'm actually telling my nephew that same thing right now. He's playing football right now in high school. You want to play cornerback, you got to have a short-term memory, and Kyle can contest to this. You're going to get some balls caught on you, and you got to be able to shake it off and go to the next play because it can be a long day at that corner spot.
If you could go back a little bit and you know, look into the camera, and you got athletes in all schools, male and female, going through the recruiting process right now, Chris. What's important? What questions does a recruit ask, and what do they need to focus on before making a decision?
First and foremost, it's definitely education. Definitely education. you want to have your parents involved in it too. I mean, it can be an overwhelming experience for a 17, 18-year-old kid. And you just want to feel comfortable with, you know, the people that you're dealing with. It's definitely a character issue. You got to know who you're dealing with. At the end of the day, you got to be who you feel comfortable with and what they bring to the table.
Well, assistant coaches play into this a lot. You're dealing with an assistant coach who's recruiting you as a defensive back, and all of a sudden he's gone. So you got to go beyond the person that's recruiting you, and even the head coach.
Exactly. Like I said, you got to know who you're dealing with. It's an overwhelming experience. Like I said, I didn't have any big offers coming out, but just the letters of intent. I mean, it was an experience that I definitely needed my parents' help with. At the end of the day, you got to pray on it and go with your gut feeling.
And playing for the variety of teams that you've had, you've gotten a good insight into what makes a successful organization and what makes a less than successful organization. And looking at the NFL teams, what are the qualities that you believe make a successful NFL franchise?
I think it's when you have a good core group of guys in the locker room that's been there for a while, know how things are going. Coming in as a rookie, it can be an overwhelming experience, not knowing exactly where you fit in, and having those group of veteran guys to take you under their wing and show you the ropes. It definitely it speaks volumes, and it helped me out a lot throughout my career. When I got to being an older guy in the locker room, I did the same thing and helped the young guys along the way.
And you get old quick in that business, don't you?
Right.
It gets late early.
Yeah, it does. My career flew by, man. 11 years. I have met a lot of great guys, made a lot of long-lasting relationships, and I'm thankful for it.
What's the future hold? I know you and I go back a ways, training so hard in these workouts and things like that, Chris, to shut it down. But what does the future hold? Coaching, or what are you looking at?
I definitely want to get into coaching and give back and help these younger guys out and give them some of my nuggets that I've learned along the way, and hopefully that'll take me to other places.
Well, that's Chris Thompson, former Holy Cross Tiger, Nichols State Colonel, NFL, CFL, just a terrific player, great representative of New Orleans and the Holy Cross Tigers, and Prep Recruiting Insider. Thank you, Chris, for being with us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
This is Prep Recruiting Insider at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. We are going to be right back after this timeout, where you could come to NOLA Motorsports Park and enjoy the thrill of speed. Get on the track and find out what it is all about. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.